Hey guys, Michael here. Today I want to give you a short story about how it all started with the pain in my fingers, which is the symptom that I had developed pretty recently, and this is all connected to the topic of placebo or belief effect, or at least I believe it. And you'll understand why when I give you a backstory about how it all started. So, I first noticed the pain in my fingers when I was in Sweden doing hiking, and I woke up one morning and I realized that one of my fingers is hurting, but I didn't recall impacting it physically or doing anything that would cause that pain. And at that moment, I just wondered if it's anyhow connected to my autoimmune condition, because I recall that every single time when I'm at the doctor's appointment, they check the fingers and they do something like this, I guess, to feel if there are any changes there. And from that moment, when I classified this pain as possibly being connected to my disease, uh, from that moment, I recall that it progressed. So the next morning, I I woke up with a bigger pain, more severe, and maybe it has to do with the fact that I was disturbed by this realization. When I realized that it might be connected, I became anxious and sad because for the past 3 years or something, I managed with what I had. It was an inflammation in the heel and some changes in my lower back, and that was it. And I learned to manage with that. I managed to live with that, and the mere thought of the condition progressing scared me a bit, and from that moment it progresses to this day, which got me thinking if this the labeling of the symptoms, just classifying it as possibly autoimmune, uh, has to do anything with this progressing, because it's really bizarre that just after realization it starts. It's going up to this day, and it's not getting any better, I think. So currently it's like I can have it every single day. I can wake up one morning and it's very severe. Some days it's just a small pain, barely there. But I am able to believe that this was because of this classification, labeling of the symptoms. Because in what other way would you explain it? So right now I'm very careful with labeling anything. And the case with my fingers is quite different, because the other areas in which I experience pain, such as my heel, are very sensitive to almost any factors, mainly diet, physical activity. Uh, but I also learned to manage it, and if I make careful choices, I am able to not feel a thing in my heel. But in my fingers, it's very different and it's very random. So I can have no problems in other areas. I can lead the best lifestyle I have, but it's still reacting to, yeah, I just don't know why. It seems random, it's a bit worrying because all the other things I learned to control, and this thing seems to be out of my control. But I think I'm just slowly adjusting to it, and as you know, as I said, I observe carefully every single day what helps, what not, and I'm making the necessary changes. Uh, for now, I can tell that what is not helping is warm water or warmth, and I guess it is because of the increased blood flow, which increased blood flow, bigger inflammation, and bigger pain as a result. So I'm avoiding that. So any cold exposure to the fingers, to my heel, helps a lot. Diet, I guess, just not directly at the moment, but I'm hoping it's gonna get better, and I'm working every single day to manage the symptoms in my fingers, and I hope it will go away. But I would like to add one more thing. I've read in some books that when we really want something, then the universe is just doing everything to balance that wanting, that need. So, for example, I really want to do some via ferratas, which require climbing and using your hands, and I think maybe this isn't really helping because I have some kind of pressure. I give energy to that thought, and the universe is trying to balance that, maybe by not giving me the strength in my fingers, the giving me the health back in them, but maybe just doing the opposite. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share. You can say in the comments if you experienced something similar, that once you labeled some symptoms as autoimmune, then it became worse and worse. This was my case, so now I'm just very careful with what labels I put onto things. I just try to be very positive about almost everything. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and stay well.